or something which is very popular today is the gig economy.
Right.
And we've seen the rise of gig economy, especially because a lot of people would want to experiment. They want to, or they find gig as something that is a motivating factor for them. It could be pursuing their passion, or it could be finding out time to do something different. How do you think India would welcome gig economy? And it's just a general perception that probably the finance sector is a little rigid, probably about gig or maybe some doing any role apart from the role that has been assigned. So how do you think India as a country is welcoming gig, and how do you think the finance sector would be welcome?
I think India always had the gig economy. Of all the jobs in India, only 6% is organized and 94% is unorganized. So the unorganized is always gig. So India has always been a gig economy. I think that's just a terminology that has come in recently. I think what the gig economy reinforces is the value that people put on skills these days, rather than the degree. And the fact that the person needs to do, let's say, 5 or 6 things rather than just one thing. But that takes a mindset, because that takes a learning mindset. That takes a more resilience mindset, because what happens is at some point you may not have anything to do. So are you ready for that? A lot of people go for the comfort of that salary on the 30th of the month, right? And that stops. But are you ready to do that? And there has always been right now because it's online, and when you say gig economy, while it's offline as well, a lot of it is online, and hence people find it quite meaningful. But then it has always been there offline. So, for example, working in a factory on a piece rate basis, or on a part-time basis, or on a seasonality basis in an agri kind of setup has always been there. A lot of people, in the white collar workforce don't find that very appealing, but the jobs are there. I think the rise of the gig economy, especially in the internet era, is because the white collar employees are now getting into the gig workforce. I think that's the difference, because it's mostly online, and I think that is the difference. But it's a welcome change, because what happens is it's good for organizations. Essentially, because the organizations are able to take up the gig workforce for projects that are critical but time bound. So they will not be able to give a career to such employees, because it's not a perennial work, but it's project basis and absolutely required. So I think that's where it ties up very well. On the industrial context of financial services industry, you're right that it's a more regulated industry, and hence the opportunities are slightly lesser, I would say. Especially on roles which deal with data and systems. But then frontline to that extent, where you're selling, has always been a gig, right? Maybe on a commission basis, for example. And as a result, that has always been a large part of the workforce is actually there. So financial services has welcomed gig economy, but then, it depends on which role you're talking about.